Awesome. It is good to be here. This is episode 2 of the Mumo Speaks About podcast. I know when I did the very first episode, I made very many promises, and that usually happens. And one of the things that I feel talking about is a journey to become a content creator, and in this case, to become a YouTuber. And I hope that this discussion of what I've gone through and what I've learned as well will actually help you in your journey towards becoming a content creator, towards becoming a YouTuber as well. One of the things that I've seen over the last 4 years of creating content on the platform is the fact that so many people start with a lot of psych, and you want to get started on the platform, and you want to help people, you want to do so many things on the channel that you are currently creating. And then what tends to happen is people rarely follow up with what they actually want to do, or they get to the middle and then they get discouraged about it, and they tend never to actually go through with the creation on the channel and even getting to success. So, the typical example of a content creator, especially on YouTube, and that I have met, is when someone actually starts, they want everything to look like some other YouTuber that they've seen before. And what tends to happen is you'll find you want to sound like them, you want your videos to look like them. And what tends to happen after that is whatever they're trying to do on their channel, you start doing on yours. If they have a catchphrase that they use on their channel, you start having that catchphrase as well. And you feel like that is the way content creation is supposed to happen. And this is something that affects so many people. And I wish that people would be able to understand this first phase of content creation and learn from it, because if you don't learn early enough, then you doom yourself to never actually succeeding. So, when I started in 2018, one of the first things that I did was I went on YouTube and I looked at what exactly are people doing on the platform in my niche. And that, for me, I can say is one of the best things I could have done for myself and for my channel, because when I did that, I was able to see the gap that was there. And what tends to happen is if you get onto the platform, you probably have seen people who are doing what you're planning on doing, or a particular kind of content has actually moved you to want to do something. So when I got onto the platform that time, and I knew that the kind of content I want to do has to do with business and finance, and that was my career background. That was actually what I was doing on a day to day. I wanted to do the same thing, because when I was working, I was actually enjoying doing that part of my work. So I went onto YouTube, and just onto the search bar, all I just did was check business ideas in Kenya. And at that particular time, there were only two videos that were there at that time. And you probably know that channel now doing something else, but they were done by a lady called Lynn Ngugi. And at that time, I didn't know who she was, and she hadn't gotten an audience like she has now. But that time, she was living in the Middle East, and she had done in 2016 one video for business ideas, and in 2017 another video as well. So when I saw that, and after that, there were videos about business, but not in Kenya. And I saw the number of views that her videos were getting. And I thought to myself, maybe this is somewhere where I can be able to get views. And that is a similar thing that you should do as well. When you get onto the platform, realize that YouTube has algorithms, and these algorithms, their main objective is to serve viewers the best videos that satisfy them. The goal of YouTube is to help the viewers. And that's a very fast reason why YouTube exists. It's for the viewers. And once you realize that as a creator, you realize that the platform has three main people that it services. So the first is the viewer. This is a person who gets onto the YouTube app and consumes content on the platform. It can be entertainment, it can be education, it can be inspiration, it can be whatever it is. So these three are the main things why people come onto the platform. So what YouTube wants to do is, when a viewer comes onto the platform, to give them as many videos as possible that actually help them to stay on the platform for as long as possible. And the longer someone stays on the platform, the more the platform is able to anticipate their future needs, and also to help them to find the video they would be looking for on the platform. So that's the first person that YouTube wants to service. And the second person on the platform is a content creator. So YouTube is a free platform where you can actually be able to place as much content as you want on the platform, and without paying anything. This is something that very many content creators take for granted, because we've grown up with YouTube. You know, YouTube started in the year 2005, and most of the content creators who are currently on the platform do not know a life before YouTube kind of platforms existed. And in 2005, I think I was about 18 years old. And you look at this platform that has been created where you can place free content and place content no matter how big the file sizes are, and no matter how long those videos are, and do all this for free. That is a concept that not very many people fully understand. And not many people appreciate the fact that this is a company that has actually placed something that you can use to amplify your voice and to do whatever it is to increase your own influence and to make money and to do whatever it is that you want to do on the platform, as long as it's legal, of course, and do it for free. If someone created such a platform and you wanted there to come and spread your own message, ideally, you're supposed to pay. So for the viewer, it is free. For the content creator, it is free as well. But then this is a platform that has employees behind, has software behind, has servers behind. All this infrastructure has been placed so that YouTube never goes down. And there are people who've been employed, and their main work is making sure that the platform exists. So there has to be a way to pay for this system. So the third person who comes in to finish this triangle of the stakeholders on YouTube is the advertiser. So these are brands, companies who want people to buy their products or want people to be aware of their products. And so they come onto the platform, which has over 1 billion viewers every single month and over 5,000 hours of video uploaded every minute. And they want people to be able to come and buy one more thing from their brand. And so they pay YouTube to be in front of viewers on content creators' channels. Now, what you need to understand is that YouTube does not owe us anything as content creators, because they have provided this platform for us to be able to use for free. But if we want to use their platform, they have provided it for free, and they are being paid by people in order to be able to maintain this platform for free. So when you come into this space and then you find out that, apart from the fact that YouTube has created this free platform for every content creator to grow their own brand, and then at the same time, when they get money from advertisers, they go ahead and share it with you, and then they give you more than 50% of the money they are making from these advertisers, then you get to realize that this is a platform that actually cares about you as a content creator. And the saddest bit for many content creators is that they come onto the platform expecting the money to come in immediately. So, as an example, on this particular channel, and the reason why I use it for the podcast is because it's not making any money. It's not yet monetized. It's not my main channel, but I can actually come here and talk about whatever it is I want to talk about and not worry about if how many people will watch this within the first 24 hours or what will happen to the viewership of this particular video that I usually worry about when I'm on the main channel. All I want to do here is talk with you, do this conversation, me and you, and you can be able to actually watch this at your own pace, whether you've come live or on the replay or you're listening to the audio part of it. You can actually be able to listen to unfiltered thoughts, and I'm not worried about how long it's going to take for us to be able to do this. It's just about creating. That's the best bit about it. And just going back to where it started in 2018, it started like I'm doing right now. I came onto the platform, and at that time, I remember my channel had 21 subscribers, which for me was a very huge number. And it still is a very big number. But when I look at it, when I look back and I look at the kind of mindset that I had at that time, I just wanted to create content that people will find that will actually help them. And I didn't know how many views it would get. The videos I had done before, there wasn't really a original piece of content I had created specifically for the audience. It hadn't happened yet. All I had on the channel at that point was 47-ish second video that I had done That was the very first video on the channel. And it was just a time for me to be able to just say, I want to create content, and I am creating content, and I have no idea where this is going to go, but I am starting. And sometimes I look at people's first video on the platform and I think to myself, this is 10 times better than where mine started at. And sometimes people are worried about, oh, I've done the very first video and it's gotten 10 views, it's gotten 50 views, it's gotten 100 views, and I want to quit because people are not watching my channel. Yet, people like myself, when we started, even getting 5 views on the very first day was a miracle. And I was excited about it. And the interesting part was 4 out of those 5 views were probably mine, because I was watching myself and looking at, am I eloquent, and how do I look? Do I look okay? What will people think about this particular video that I'm actually doing? And there were so many things that I was looking at that I had no idea if people will appreciate what it is I'm doing, and will they like what it is I'm doing, and will I get people who will stick around for the kind of content that I'm doing. And the very first time I did a video, I was sitting in my living room and I had my camera with me, and I sat on one of the couches in the house, and behind me, it was during the day. I didn't have light with me like I do now, and you can actually be able to see there's a particular shadow that's just behind me because of some light that I have. And I sat down, and for about 20 to 30 minutes, I talked about the 10 businesses that people can be able to start. And when I look back at that video, honestly, I can see so many mistakes that I made in that video. And for me, the biggest one was I hadn't thought of where the light was coming from. And that's the biggest thing that I look at that video and I'm like, I wish I had thought of that. And that video got 50 views and then 100 views. And then I started to see people were looking at this video who were not even subscribed to my channel, and they had no idea about who I was. And when I started looking at the comments, I saw people who actually liked that content, even though for myself, I wasn't too sure about it. And then about a week or so later, or 2-3 weeks later, I decided to do a similar video. And this one was on 5 businesses that people can be able to start. Remember, the first one was about the 10 business ideas people can start. This one was the 5 business ideas that people can start. And then people started watching that as well. And I could see this one was bringing 10 views. This one is bringing 7 views. Views are growing from 2 videos. And a few subscribers are coming in. I'm getting about 3 or 4 subscribers a month. And this started my thinking around, maybe I should become a business channel. And I know people are looking for this kind of content. But in that same time, just the fear of I may do a video and then it doesn't do well on the channel. And doing well right now is one video has about 100 views, the other one has about 150, 200 views. And I'm like, will I ever be able to replicate this? Will I be able to do another video that people will like this? And about the middle of the year, in June, I released another video on the same kind of topic. And then this one I called the business ideas that can make you rich. And these are the same type of video as the first two, but then this one started gaining a little more traction than the first two. So what I would do, and this is advice for people here, what I would do is at the end of the very first video, at the end screen, I'd place the second video for people to watch. And then on the second one, I'd place a new one. And then on the new one, I'd place one of the other two. And so if someone came onto the channel through any of those videos, they could be able to go through all three if they got to the end, and they could see this is a channel where I can be able to get this kind of content. So if someone has watched one or two videos on my channel, then they'll probably want to watch another. So that's how it started. And the second video, the third video in this series is currently the most watched video on my channel with over 250,000 views. And as we speak, that is the one video that has brought in over 7,000 subscribers onto the channel. Now, my main channel has about 35,000 subscribers, and 1 out of 200 videos has brought in 20% of the subscribers. And then what I actually learned from that was the fact that I got these subscribers over a year after the video went live. One of those days I woke up, and I think it was October of 2019, around September is when it started. And then I'd see on my channel 1,000 views for that day. And then 600 or 700 of those views are from this one video that was about businesses that can make you rich. And then 1, 2, 3% of the people who viewed would subscribe. And that is what started the momentum for this channel, because in my second year of creating content, I was able to actually get from 1,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers. And it was because of the momentum of one video. So when you come onto the platform and when you want to become a content creator, you need to think of the fact that I need to provide as much value as possible to the people who are watching my content, and not worry about the things that you cannot control. One of the things that you cannot control is the number of subscribers that you'll get on your channel. This is something that comes from externally to your channel. This is not something that you can be able to actually sit down and plan and say, I want to have this many subscribers by the end of the year. You can hope and plan and wish about it, but when you provide value, that is a time that people will subscribe to your channel. And look at it this way: when you're doing content, you're doing it for one person. Just the same way that I'm doing this particular video, I know clearly that it will not be watched by very many people, but the one person who will be able to watch this video will help them. And for that one person, I will have provided enough value for them to say that this person is worth me subscribing to. And that's all there is. That's all you're trying to do. And when you look at different niches, there are so many people who are looking for good, actionable content that they can listen to, that they can watch, that will actually help them. All this is outside of you. So for you as a content creator, one of the things that you're looking for is this person that I want to speak to, what are their characteristics? What do they want to achieve for themselves? What are they looking for? And once you find out what that is, then you make your channel be the solution for them. It can be they're looking for comic relief. So you form a comedy channel around what will excite this particular person. If they are looking for education about how to start a YouTube channel, you then create content around that, that when they find it, they'll actually be able to resonate with it. They'll actually be able to find it useful for them. And when they do that, they will subscribe to your channel. So one of the things that I've learned over the period that I've been a content creator is that the moment I start chasing the numbers, the moment I start chasing how many subscribers I'll have, and I stop thinking about who is watching my channel and what kind of content are they looking for, then I start getting frustrated. Because even today, I have released a video that I know is going to help the audience I'm trying to create around crypto content. And in fact, that particular video that I've released was supposed to be part of the content I was providing for a paid course that I'm actually working on. So when I'm doing all this, I'm trying to debate, should I provide this for free or should people pay to get that particular content? And the moment people are able to see the kind of content I am providing for free, then when I start providing some content paid, they will go there as well. So that is part of the journey that I'm actually going through as a content creator. Because when I started, I had no idea and I had no plan as to how I'd make money on the platform, which is not something that is necessarily good. If you come onto the platform and you want to create content and you want to make a living out of this content, then as you're starting, you also need to start exploring how will you make money with the content that you're doing. Now, this is important in order for you to be able to make the right decisions with your content, as well as to be able to build your channel towards a particular goal, whether monetary or otherwise. When you have those goals in your mind, you can be able to actually grow your channel. So if you're starting your channel, these are the things you need to think about. What is within my control as a content creator? One of the things that is within your control is the kind of content that you will do on your channel. And when you're starting out, you probably are not exactly sure which kind of content you should be doing or that there is an audience for, and that's perfectly fine. I know whenever I'm advising people on what kind of content to do, I usually advise to niche down. But then if you're starting out, you probably haven't even chosen your niche. You probably haven't seen what you're comfortable with talking about on your channel. So when you're starting out, experiment. And even as you grow, keep on experimenting wherever you find you have interest in. This totally goes against what I used to believe in terms of when you get into a niche, stick with it and work on it until the very end. And the reason it has changed is because even for my own self, as I continued creating educational content, I found I love teaching, and I was teaching about business. And not everyone wants to start a business. And then there are some people who come onto the channel and they want to learn about YouTube. And I love talking about YouTube because I've seen it change the way my life has been over the past 4 years. And I want to teach people how to get started on YouTube. And then I stumbled on crypto as well. And then people want to learn about how to make money with crypto. And all these are things that are within my interest. And the audience I already have may be 70 or 80% about business, and then another 10% about crypto, and then another 10% who want to learn about YouTube. All these are people who've subscribed onto the channel, and then I need to service all of them. But then my interests are also changing. I probably don't want to talk about YouTube every day. I probably don't want to talk about crypto every day. Yes, I want to talk about crypto every day, but I may not talk about business every day. All this are because I don't want to box myself in to just a particular niche. I want to be able to create as much content as I wish on whatever topic that I wish. And I personally know the danger to that is the fact that the kind of audience that I'll end up attracting is very mixed, and the performance of every single video that I'll do is also mixed as well. As a good example, if I did content today about business ideas on my main channel, I know that within the first 24 hours, it will have over 500, 600 views, probably even 1,000 views, because the bulk of my audience there want business ideas. And whenever they see a business ideas video from me, they will leap on it, they will watch it. And it'll probably get about 50 or 60 views in the first 30 minutes, because that's the kind of content I know there's a very big audience for. But then if I just keep on doing that content, yes, it has an audience, but for me, it may not be as fulfilling as it was at the very beginning. Because for me right now, what I want to teach people is how to grow their businesses. But I know that so many people may not watch that kind of content. And I need to be okay with that. Because if I chase the views, then I'll end up getting frustrated. And then I'll also end up burning out because I'm just doing content specifically for the views. And if I do that, then I'll not feel the happiness of having created something that I know will help that one person, like I felt the very first time I created business content. So, in the journey to become a content creator, you have to learn to be extremely patient with your growth. You have to learn that not every video that you do will be pure gold. And you need to learn that not every video that you do will resonate well with your audience. And funny thing is, sometimes the video that you expect people will completely love, they don't respond to it. And sometimes the video that you think this one people won't really like, that's the one that they completely fall in love with. So, all this is to tell you that make content first for yourself. And It feels very selfish to say that, but if as a content creator you cannot create content first for yourself, then you'll not go very far, because you'll feel beholden to the audience that you're creating. And if the videos that you're creating are not fun for you, then you will not do this for very long. Because even at the time when creating content feels like a chore, but if you're doing it for yourself and not just for the money that you can make or for the views that you can get or for the subscribers that you can get, if all that is not your motivating factor, then you'll be in this industry for much, much longer. And even as you grow on the platform, you will start to see opportunities in different niches. If you can, take advantage of them. Because if you don't create content for yourself, first of all, and not creating content for the algorithm or creating content for the audience or creating content for the CPMs and the brands that come in, if you create content for other people other than yourself, first of all, you will not do this for very long. And sometimes I feel like this is honestly even advice for myself. And I want to be able to wake up every single time when I'm doing content. And when I do the content, I feel fulfilled and not just chasing how many views I can get or how big of an audience it can be, but just do the content to make yourself happy. If you can do that, you're golden. That's one of the lessons I've learned over the last 4 years. And on May 9th, it will be officially 4 years. And then I'll be getting into my fifth year of creating content. And one of the things that I would wish for every single content creator is that when you turn your camera on, you find satisfaction in what you're doing. Apart from the views that you will get, apart from the money that you'll make, apart from the fame that you can get, you find happiness in the content that you are creating. Thanks for joining me on episode 2 of Mumo Speaks About podcast. And I hope that you'll join me for episode 3 very soon. If you can, place a review on this particular podcast, as well as on the video that you may watch on YouTube on the replay. Thank you, and God bless. See you in the next one.